Today we are going to do the next video of probability chapter. Previously we have done in the video of random variable. Now we will be doing the probability distribution. For that the random variable concept should be clear, then only you can do the probability distribution. Now let us take an example. We are taking here 6 bags with balls in it. Let these I had made in the form of bags. Suppose B1 is having 3 balls, B2 is having 5 balls, B3 is having 4 balls, B4 is having 4 balls, B5 is having 6 balls, and B6 is having 5 balls. Let X be a random variable that represent number of marbles in the bag selected. Okay? We are taking the rule by which we take out the variable. Random variable, we are taking that number of marbles in the or number of balls in the bag. Let's see. X B1 means random variable of B1 will be 3 because it is having 3 balls. Then random variable for B2, that will be 5. Similarly for B3 it will be 4. For B4 is equal to 4 and B5 for 6 because there are 6 balls, and for B6 it is 5. So we had taken out this the value of the random variable. Overall the variable is taking 4 values only, that is 3, 4, 5 or 6. So X is having 3 for B1, X is having 4 for B3 and B4 is equal to 5 for B2 and B6, and X is equal to 6 for B5. Whatever is selected, accordingly we are getting the values of the random variable. But we had to find the probability distribution table. Now what is going to be held? Suppose we are taking that each bag is equally likely to be selected. These all 6 bags is equally likely. So what will be the probability of selecting a bag? That will be 1 upon 6. 1 upon 6 because there are 6 bags. So 1 upon 6. Now let us find the probability of bag 1. So it will be having 1 upon 6 because 3 balls are only in one bag, so that will be 1 upon 6. Or I can write probability of X is equal to 3. Means for bag 1 X is equal to 3, the probability will be 1 upon 6. Similarly, for the probability of B3 or B4, that is 2 upon 6 because they were having X is equal to 4, means there were 2 bags which were having 4 balls. So it is becoming 2 upon 6. Similarly, number of bags having 5 balls, if we have to find the probability of that bag, that is 2 upon 6 because there were 2 bags having 5 balls. Now the last probability when X is equal to 6, that was only with one bag, so it becomes 1 upon 6. Now how we have to write this probability distribution table? See here. Here we will be writing X and then Px. So X was coming as 3, 4, 5 and 6, and this probability value is coming as 1 upon 6, 2 upon 6, 2 upon 6 and 1 upon 6. So this is your probability distribution table. This is very necessary if you have to find the mean, variance. Today we are going to study that also. So this is the table which we have to found. Now this is given in your book, page number 560 in the NCERT book. There is given a definition of the probability distribution. Suppose we are taking, here we have taken only 4 things, but we are assuming how we will be writing it. So this is the variable, random variable, which is given as x1, x2, x3 till xn, and its probability distribution, let it be p1, p2, p3 till pn. Conditions apply that pi should be greater than 0, means the probability of each variable should be greater than 0, means it should be always positive and it should be greater than 0, and the sum of all the probabilities should be equal to 1. Like you can see in this table, this is 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, that is 6, means if we add these all probabilities, this will be equal to 6 upon 6, that is 1, and all these probabilities are positive values and greater than 0. So these two conditions should be satisfied. If you are asked to whether the given table is a probability distribution table, so you have to see two conditions. The probability should always be positive and secondly their sum should be equal to 1. The real numbers x1, x2, xn are the possible values of the random variable x, and pi is the probability of the random variable x taking the values xi. So what is this? Px is equal to xi is equal to pi. How these values are being taken out, that is written over here. So we have to remember these two conditions, that all the probabilities should be greater than 0 and their sum should be equal to 1 for a table to be a proper probability distribution table. Hence the sum of all the probabilities is in a probability distribution must be equal to 1, that I had already told you. Now see, let's take one example, one more example we are taking. Find the probability distribution of the number of tails in 3 tosses of a coin. Let us see the sample space. We are having 3 tosses of a coin, means we have to write the sample space when there are 3 coins tossed. So we know it's always 2 to the power of 3, that will be 8 elements in the sample space. So these are the thing, and the rule we have to take number of tails. So first thing we have to find the random variable. So x means this is a random variable of HHH. Number of tails we have to write. Number of tails are 0. Here HTH number of tails is 1. This is HHT, again the number of tails is 1. So in this way we had found out all the 8 elements. Like here it is x TTH, so 2 tails are there, so the value becomes 2. THT, again 2 tails are there, the value becomes 2. And TTT, 3 tails are there, so value becomes 3. Therefore x is taking only 4 values, means it is 0 or it is 1 or it is 2 or it is 3. So x can take the values of 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now we have to find the probability distribution, probability of these numbers. Let's see. Probability when x is equal to 0. How many times this 0 is coming here? Only one time. So this will be 1 upon 8. And we are supposing that all these elements are equally likely events. So the probability of each will be 1 upon 8. Now how many times x is equal to 1 is coming? See here. 1, 2 and 3. So this becomes 3 upon 8. When x is equal to 2, how many times 2 is coming? 1, 2 and 3. So again it becomes 3 upon 8. And how many times x is equal to 3 is coming? That is only one time. So the probability becomes 1 upon 8. So let us draw the table. See, we had drawn the table over here. Probability distribution table. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. These were the numbers, values, the real values which the random variable was getting, and these are the probabilities. Right? So next topic we are going to start the mean of a random variable, but for this table you should be able to make it out. Now let us see, we are having now the random variable, we are having the probability. Now we have to find the mean of a random variable. We are again taking the same example and we will be continuing to find out the mean. Again we are taking the sample space, the same sample space, tossing 3 coins. Let x denote the number of heads. Now we are here taking the number of heads. And the possible values of x are 0, 1, 2 and 3. And after finding the probability, we are getting this table. X is taking the value as 0, 1, 2 and 3. And the probability is we are getting 1 by 8, 3 by 8, 3 by 8 and 1 upon 8. What is mean? Mean is the middle or the average value of a random variable, and it is denoted by mu. So what does the mean means? Means the average value. Average means if we multiply these two terms and then divide with the number of terms, we should get the value. And it is denoted by mu. Here a new letter is coming, introducing a new letter, mu, for mean. Or we can write the formula in this way of mean. Sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi pi. This is also given in your book on page number 564. The mean of all random variable x is called the expectation of x, denoted by ex. You can write mu as well as ex, means expectation of this x variable. The formula just now we wrote it out, sigma xi pi, which means x1 p1 plus x2 p2 till xn pn. So let us find out the mean for the given question for which the probability distribution table we had made. So let us find out the mean. See the mean here. Just multiplying that x1 p1 plus x2 p2 plus x3 p3 plus x4 p4. After multiplying, I am getting this 12 upon 8, which is equal to 1 upon 5. Now this is the way how to find out the mean. Means you had found the random variable, you had found the probability value, and just multiplying and adding it, you can get the mean. Now next thing, we have to find out the variance. Variance of a random variable. Again we are taking the same table 0, 1, 2, 3, and these are the probability value, and we know that the mean is 1.5, right? We are taking another table -1, 0, 3, 5, 6, and their probability distribution is this. If we find out the mean of this table also, I'll be getting 1.5. This is also 1.5. This is also 1.5. Means mean is same. But here we cannot tell about the variability of this table. So for this, we are just drawing a graph for it. See here on the next page. Mean are same, but it does not tell us about the variability. So we are drawing the graph according to the given tables. This is one graph and this is the other graph of y variable. You just see how much spread. There is no consistency in spreading of the or scattering of the data, but just see here, there is some sequence. Some you can say that they are nicely spread. This is in between, nothing is there. So this is, you can see that this variability is much more. In statistics, variance, what does this variance measure? Is a measure of the spread or scatter in the data. This is given on in your NCERT book, page number 566. Similarly, variance can be considered as the measure of the spread of the values of a random variable in a probability distribution. So what for this variance is needed? For finding out the spread of the values of the random variable. For these two tables only, we will be finding out the variance. Then we will be able to see which is more variable. The thing which is more variable, having less consistency, means that is less stable. So let us find out the variance formula. This is the formula for variance. Means it is xi, denotion. Last year also you must have read in class 11th. This is sigma x square. And the formula becomes I is equal to 1 to n. Xi minus mu, this is the mean, square into pxi. Right? Or I can write like this also. Sigma x square is equal to expectation of x minus mu whole square, right? And if I take out the square root of this, we'll get the standard deviation. Means standard deviation is the square of variance, or I can tell you the standard deviation means the under root of given variance. You can find out the standard deviation. So we are taking the same example which we had took previously for this scattering. So we are finding out the variance for this. अब यहाँ देखिए, ये दो टेबल्स दिख रहे हैं आपको, वही सेम टेबल है. इसका भी मीन हमारा 1.5 आया था और इसका भी मीन हमारा 1.5 आया. नाउ वी हैव टू फाइंड द वेरिएंस. सी हियर, वेरिएंस फॉर्मूला है रिटन हियर, xi minus mu whole square pxi. xi minus mu, this is x, this is p. So xi minus mu means 0 minus 1.5 whole square into pxi into 1 upon 8. This only we have to do for all the four cases. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and after solving I am getting this as 0.469. For y, when I am finding it out, after solving all these values, putting into the same formula, I am getting here 6.749. So which table is more variable? This one, this y table is more variable. So it is having less stability. See the variance. Variance of x is sigma x square 0.469. This is 6.749. So variance of y is greater than variance of x. So according to the mean, you cannot say that this table is less variable or more variable, because that was having the same value. The mean was getting the same. But the variance of y is greater than variance of x. So the spread value of y is more than that of x. Another formula is also given in your book on page number 567, where you can use this formula. Sometimes this is also needed, that is variance of x is equal to expected value of x square minus expectation of x whole square, where expectation of x square is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n xi square pxi. So this formula is sometimes used, otherwise that same formula which we have done previously, that is used. So after doing this random variable, probability distribution, mean and variance, now you have to do in your homework exercise 13.4. right? Finish with your homework exercise 13.4.